Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Uncle Jackie's Gumbo, Episode 2. This week's theme is immunity, and this week's recipe is shortcut marinara sauce. Oh, yes, well, most Italians have the long form marinara sauce, where you take tomato puree and tomatoes and you put them in a pot, you cook them down all day long until they form their own sauce. My Sicilian mother had 3 boys and my dad, and they'd come in hungry, and she had about 5 or 6 different dishes that she had to put together in short order very fast. One of them is shortcut marinara. But before we get to that, let's review what we had done last week. Last week, we talked about the dinosaurs. How the dinosaurs went extinct, and we never did really pinpoint why they went extinct. There's various theories. One theory is that the volcanoes, when they erupted, they took all the oxygen out the air. The other is that the dinosaurs ate all of the food. The third theory that we discussed was the fact that over billions of years there were no less than 5 glacial periods that crossed the entire United States. And so that's why the Midwest is so flat, because these glaciers kept on coming down, and the drainage ditch of the glaciers is the Mississippi River. Glaciers are still melting, and the river keeps on coming down. Till this day in Midwest, though, as they're excavating in those flatlands, they still find dinosaur bones, mammoth beasts, whatever, because those areas were green and mountainous, and they were covered with dinosaurs, and then the glaciers kept on killing them and then burying them with a lot of pressure. So those are all theories, but we have finally found something that can make human beings extinct all over the whole world, and that's COVID-19. We hear a lot about social distancing, wearing masks, and washing hands, and those things are very important. Yes, you must do that. However, what we're not hearing about is our immune system. So you could wear a mask, you can wash your hands 1,000 times a day, you can social distance all you want, but if your immune system is whacked out, then you're susceptible to catching COVID-19. Now, what whacks out the immune system? Well, we can all agree that this nightmare that we're living in, called this COVID-19 pandemic all over the world, is very stressful. I wish I could go to sleep and wake up and then find that this was just all a bad dream, that it was all a nightmare, that it's all, and that it's all over with. It's not. It's not going away. And it keeps on spiking. So, but what can we do to keep our immune system strong? That's the most important thing. You got to keep your immune system strong. During this time of stress, what happens is your body creates cortisol. Cortisol whacks out your immune system something bad. So what can counteract cortisol? Well, Vitamin C. That's what they're saying. Cortisol is a hormone that our body produces when we're stressed out, and it whacks out our immune system. So, in order to keep your immune system strong, you've got to exercise. You've got to eat good. Eat leafy vegetables, lots of fruits and vegetables. Eat a protein at least every day. Get some exercise. Make sure you get out in the sun. A lot of people in the nursing homes, they're protected, but at the same time, because their immune system's so whacked out, when they got exposed to COVID-19, it just took them out. Blam, you know. But if your immune system is strong, then you have something to counter that. So green leafy vegetables, lots of fruits, bell peppers, dark green leafy vegetables, and high doses of vitamin C. There's 3 generations of Dr. Marys, who are out of New Orleans, out of Austin originally. 3 generations of Dr. Marys. They were all related to each other, like father, son, grandson. They were all proponents of vitamin C. Dr. Mary is recommending at least 2,000 milligrams of vitamin C per day. Now, you could get that in tablet form at your local pharmacy. I ran down the block to Walgreens and I got a bottle of 1,000 milligrams. I take 2 a day, and I do feel stronger. Okay? I'm not going to use that as an excuse to not wearing my mask. I'm not going to use that as an excuse to not wash my hands, and I'm not going to use that as an excuse to not social distance. You got to do those things. But on top of that, your immune system is the key element to keeping us healthy. So you got to do what you have to do to keep your immune system strong. Take that vitamin C. China's been using vitamin C for a while. They had a situation where they were intravenously feeding high doses of vitamin C to mild and moderate cases of people suffering from COVID-19, and they found results. There was a person who was like on a respirator for 4 hours. They intravenously fed them 50,000 milligrams of vitamin C over a 4-hour period, and watch their respiratory improve. Watch their medical condition improve and come about. That's because of vitamin C. Because it does help. It does work and improves the immune system. Now, it's not the final answer. The final answer is the vaccine, and we do know that the light is on at the end of the tunnel. Merck announced a couple of weeks ago that they use their vaccine on 50 people, and 50 people produce antibodies. Now they got to go to the next phase of the test, which is to distribute their vaccine to 30,000 people in a double-blind study. That means half of the people are going to get placebos, and the other half of the people are going to get the actual vaccine. But this is a scientific way to prove the validity and the effectiveness of the vaccine. Once that happens and they get the results from this 30,000, they could go to the next step and start distributing to the general population, which is a lot of us. But even though there's a lot of us, a lot of people aren't. Some people are just not going to take the vaccine. Just like a lot of people, they don't go get their flu shot. I believe in a flu shot, and it's very key this fall. Make sure you get your flu shot, and stay alive, stay healthy. Get that vitamin C. So now, for the next segment, which is going to be the recipe for the quick fix marinara. For the quick fix marinara, you're going to want a can of tomato paste, a can of tomato sauce, an onion, and garlic. I mean a fresh onion, the daily onion, and fresh garlic. And then you're going to take the onion, you got garlic, and slice it up. You're going to take some olive oil, put that in a frying pan, start that on the sizzle. Once your olive oil is like warmed up and it starts sizzling, throw in that garlic, throw in that onion, stay with it with a stir, and keep on working it until it becomes brown. Till the onion and the garlic mixing together becomes brown. Then throw in that can of tomato paste, throw in a can of tomato sauce. I'm not talking about the can of already made sauce. That's got so many chemical additives it's going to make you sick. But just like pure Contandina or Hunt's tomato paste, tomato sauce. Then you add some water. You mix it up. Then, of course, you can add thyme, oregano, and fennel as seasonings. Have your pasta ready to go. Strain it. Stir that tomato paste, tomato sauce until it's all mixed together. Stay with it on a moderate heat. You start the heat out high and then go at moderate. And after that, then just turn it right on top of that pasta. It's ready to go. Delicious. That's called shortcut marinara. Now, we're going to be ending with a list of things that people are grateful for. I have people who are grateful for God, for family, for friends. God, family, and friends. Put God first, family second, and friends come third. That's important. Put God first. Put God first in your life. Connect with God. Say prayers. The way that we connect with God is by prayers, by saying prayers. If we're frustrated all day long and we run around and say, oh, God did this, it's like, no, God wants to help us make it through this. That's it. God wants to help us make it through this very rough time every day. But every day you got to stop and say prayers to God. Connect with God. God's connected to the universe. He made the universe. He'll give us the grace and the strength to make it through another day, one day at a time. Connect with your family. Call them. Text them. Zoom with them. Family is very important in terms of our emotional well-being, our emotional support, and that also lends itself toward the strengthening of our immune system. And friends. You know, a friend might not be able to do everything for you, but it's important to have friends because friends are, can provide things for us, and we can provide things for friends. It's all about, forming this network together where we help each other out. I solicited this list from Facebook, and so another person said she's grateful for her husband, and it's good for those of us who have significant others, or whether it's a husband, a wife, a boyfriend, a girlfriend, is to keep you going, a person to share with, a person to talk with, particularly during this very rough time. Another person said they're grateful for their home, and we know that a lot of people are going homeless because the money from the government is running out, and people might not have enough money to pay rent, and they lost their jobs. It's going to be people are going through a rough time right now. So this person said they're grateful to have a home, and if you got a home or if you got an apartment, a place to stay, be grateful for that. A person said that they're grateful for their life, and it's important to wake up every morning and say our prayers to God and give thanks that we're alive, despite the fact things are getting rough. It's important to be grateful that we're alive. Now, another person put they're grateful for the fact that there's angels unaware. And a lot of times, angels are help. We seek God, and God sends His holy angels, sometimes in the form of other people, and we're unaware of this. It's to inspire us, it's to help us make it through these rough times. God's not limited in terms of that. And last on the list, a person which should be first is all that God provides. We got to believe, got to trust that God provides. But you got to pray. In order to connect with God, you got to say prayer. When we say our prayers, it's connecting with God. God is always present to us. He's always there, always there. But when we say prayers, we make ourselves present to God, and we can ask Him to help us, and He'll help us. We're all praying for an end to this nightmare that they find positive results with the vaccine and we can get out of this. You know, it's a rough ride. So take care. This is Uncle Jackie with Uncle Jackie's Gumbo signing off for now with the end of episode 2, and we'll look forward to episode 3. And again, I'm going to pray that the good Lord takes a liking to you, and we're going to close the way that Roy Rogers and Dale Evans always would close their show with happy trails. And here's old sidekick wishing you a good evening or good day. Happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy trails to you. Keep smiling until then. Doesn't really matter about the weather. Everything is fine so long as we're together. Happy trails to you till we meet again.